Happy Sunday, my YouTubian friends. Gary with VW Jawbreaker. Today, finally get back in the garage and start getting some work done. So what are we doing? Starting on Bentley's engine, finally getting ready to get this thing going. Got a bunch of parts, some boxes, some heads, cylinders, jugs, cam, all kinds of good stuff. So, let's start making this stuff into a complete engine. Alright, well, I got my crank and rods laid out, everything's cleaned up. If you notice on stock rods, they have this little bump. It's only on one side, okay? So you want to make sure that bump is pointing up. And on your crank, it goes 3, 1, 4, 2. So let's get to assembling and get the new bearings and everything all slapped up in there. Alright, let's go ahead and lock these rods down at 25 foot-pounds.
Alright, nice.
It's catching on the towel. Nice. Man, just barely any play. That's perfect. Can't beat that. Alright, let's move on to more fun stuff. Alright, next up we have cam gear, spacer, distributor drive gear, clip that holds it all on that people forget about, and of course your oil slinger. I've also got over here, you can't really see them, I've also got the Woodruff keys that go in there, so we'll go ahead and get all this installed on first. But first we got to put the bearing on. Then we need to heat up the gears so we could slide the gears on. Distributor drive gear does matter. If you notice, I've already painted the 2 dots. Those 2 dots right there, actually the gear will face this way. It matters which way that goes on. Your gear for the
Fuel pump, there we go. I'm not sorry. Fuel pump does also ride on the distributor drive gear, but this right here is for the distributor drive gear.
Doesn't really matter which way that goes on. If you turn it around, it still points the same way. So we'll go heat those up in the house on the stove, make the wife a little happy, and then we'll get to slapping all this together. Alright, now on your bearings, you notice down there you've got your dowel pin hole. So what I do is I drop it in the case, get it to sit, mark my side, top, side, so I know exactly which way it goes in there, and it also helps me align it when I drop the crank in there. Simple little things that VW Darren and some of the other guys, Easy Jeezy and whatnot, little things I've picked up from them over time that make assembly so much easier. Also, you probably saw me do it on the video. Make sure you use plenty of assembly lube and you don't want those things spinning around in there dry. Alright, so we got the bearing on, it's lubed. Got assembly lube on it. We have the gears nice and hot and smoking out the inside of the house. The wife's not too happy, so let's grab the welding glove and see if it's hot enough to slide on. Let's do it. I can feel it's nice and hot. There we go. All right, now don't forget your spacer. Drop the spacer on. And now I'll go get the distributor drive gear, drop that on. Whoo, that's hot. That is hot, even through the welding glove. All right, so now we got both gears on. What we'll do now is lay it down and put the heavy duty circlip on. And this circlip is a pain. It might actually be smarter for me to wait until it's not so hot.
Hey, wait, you can't see. Yeah, now you can see. Usually use a screwdriver to try to pry it in. No, push it. This is definitely my least favorite part of doing an engine. Don't know why.
You gotta be careful not to scratch up that surface too much. That surface right there is actually for your nose bearing, or whatever you want to call it. Some people call it the nose bearing. But now my clip's getting hot from the gears. Oh, there we go. All right, now, here's a little trick. Here, let's zoom in a little, huh? All right, can you see? What I do is I take a little screwdriver and we go ahead and tap it all the way around to make sure it's fully seated.
That's more better. Oh yeah, more better. I know, English please, hit me up, I don't care.
I like to make sure that thing's really in there. Looking good. Hit it up over on this other side just to make sure this side's in. Oh yeah, we're good, guys. That's it. And you didn't see part of that. My bad. Now, here's your oil slinger. Oil slinger is curved. Believe it or not, it goes that way. Okay? First, need the other bearing. So same thing on this bearing. I have it marked top, got a scribe on both sides for my dowel pin at the bottom. Now I'll give you a little secret. That's always like that. So we'll go ahead and throw a little looby-lube. Oh yeah, spins nice. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the slinger and then tap our Woodruff key in. That Woodruff key is what hooks onto your front pulley. You want to try to get it as flat and level as possible so you don't have problems putting your pulley on. There you go. Crank is ready to go. Whoop! Look at that. Oil slinger on the right way. Everything's set up nice. The only other thing we have to do is take my paint stick.
Some paint over here.
Remark my two timing dots. Here, let me pop you out. Hold on, going for a ride. So right there, you can see the two dots. Put a little paint on them. That way when I line up the cam, it's much easier to see your dots. So that's how you would set up your crank for your Volkswagen. Really pretty simple, not too difficult, pretty straightforward. So we got to take a break there. Got a bunch of other stuff to get caught up on. So stay tuned. We got more work to do. Take care. Till the next time, be good.